we will do a run-through of Faostat website. This is the home page. From this page, you can access the data and useful tools, which we will talk about in a minute. Before we start with the details, I will point out some useful features of this home page. You can see here on the top right-hand side that you can choose different languages. In alphabetical order, Arabic, Chinese, English, French, Russian, and Spanish. The Faostat website is fully available in English and partly in the other languages. Over here on the right side, we have the bulk download files for the whole of the Faostat website. These are zipped CSV files grouped by domain. The bulk downloads are some of our most requested products and useful for people doing their own detailed analyses. They are also available for individual domains, and we will show you these later. They can be downloaded through the website, or else you can find the file location which is available from the files under database description. If you want to keep track of when our data will be available, here we have the most recent database updates. And this button will open the full release calendar. The release calendar will show the most recent updates and also the date of future releases for the datasets. We also have highlights of selected indicators by country, rankings, and links to flagship publications which analysts might find interesting. So if you want something and are not sure where it is, you can come back to the home page. Everything is linked from here. Now let us start exploring the data. We access the data from the Explore Data button, and I will give you a practical example of how to access and download Faostat data. Faostat data is grouped by themes, which we call domains, and here you can see the groups of domains. On this page, you get an overview of all the data and variables in Faostat. If you want to know what is available for your analysis, I encourage you to start here. They can also be viewed in a table format. Some domains are tied to flagship reports. The SDG indicators icon highlights the domains which contain data reported in the Sustainable Development Goals. The food security and nutrition domain contains the data that is also used for the SOFI report shown on the homepage. You can search for variables or themes you want to use in analysis using the filter box. For example, we will type in crops, and then we can see any domains that refer to crops. This way, you don't need to know what is in each domain to get started. You can just use the search. Now we will show you how to download the data. We will choose production crops and livestock products. This is the page that will take you to the data. The layout for all domains is similar. Most domains will show these 4 boxes. You will need to make a selection in each of the boxes before you can retrieve the data. From the first box, you can make your geographical selection. This box has 3 tabs. In the first, you can pick each country individually, but you can also pick countries by groups. We have data grouped by world, regions, and sub-regions. You can see that there are 2 options. Those with a plus sign and total only give you the aggregate total, whereas those with the greater than symbol and list will show you each individual country. We will choose Africa total and list, and you can see the selections made appear in the box below. When working with data, you often need the codes, not only the country names. This box here allows to choose which code you want to use. In this case, we will leave the M49 codes for the countries and regions. In the next box, the elements give you the different variables available for that dataset. As element, we will choose production quantity. In items, you select the products for which you want data. Like the geographies, you can pick individually in the left tab called Items. Or you can pick by group in the right tab called Items Aggregated. The aggregates are specially designed to reflect the groups most relevant to analysts in food security, nutrition, and agriculture. We want to show data for wheat, so we can type directly in the filter box. And then we choose wheat. We will leave the CPC codes. For years, we will choose the last 5 years. They can be selected by using Shift or Control and click to select multiple rows. Now that we have selected what data we want to see, we can choose how we want to see the data. It gives you flexibility so you can get the output directly how you need it for your analysis and reduce some of your pre-processing work. The output type as a table is a default flat file. Otherwise, Pivot allows showing data in columns instead of single rows. You can save as CSV or Excel. Choose the 1000 separator and also choose the columns you want to see in the output. We will leave the default options just now and choose Show Data. Here, you can see all the information you requested, which you can view on screen or download. Here, you can see the name of the domain, the codes, and names for area, element, item, year. Also, we have the unit of measure, the value, and the flag. The flag indicates the source of the data. Flags and units are part of the corporate standard. It is also possible to sort the data by value. We will download the data and see that the file has gone to the downloaded files folder. Next, we will look at a pivot table. So under Output Type, click Pivot. Our users like this feature when they want a quick summary or comparison. Faostat does it in one click and saves them the work. To make it easier to view the output on screen, we will deselect some of the output formatting options. If you want to reorganize the table to compare the things in a different way, you can move around the different components of the table. This table too can be downloaded. If you want to save your query selection to rerun again quickly in future, you can click on this button here, and it will copy a URL to the clipboard, and you can save for the future use. Let us now leave the data download and move to the right-hand side of the page. Let me point out the bulk downloads. On the home page, we had bulk downloads for all Faostat data. Here we have the bulk downloads only for this domain. As we said before, these are zipped CSV files of the whole dataset and are also grouped by region. The file called All Data Normalized is in a flat file format, while the other files are pivoted by year. The rest of the information in this right-hand side gives you information needed to understand the data and its methodology. At the top, it starts with a short description of the dataset. Below this, we have some related documents. These contain information relevant to the dataset and its methodology. Under suggested reading, you can find the analytical brief, which is generally produced every time data is updated and gives a summary of important points noted in the dataset. If you click on the Definitions and Standards green button, you will find a list of all the details, classifications, and definitions of each item in the dataset. If you click on Item, for example, you can see the code name, description, and other code lists if available. These tables can be downloaded. You can also get some of this information from the Definitions and Standards tab at the top of the page. The next green button is for metadata. You can also get to this from the tabs at the top of the page. This is information that describes the concepts used, the methods used to generate the data, and the quality dimensions. It will therefore guide the interpretation of the dataset. It is in line with the FAO corporate standard on metadata. You can also download or print it. Faostat also offers some quick views of the data. Now, if we go to Visualize Data tab, we can see a selection of maps, charts, and tables. These can be filtered, printed, and the data exported. We will now look at another popular domain. You may have heard of food balance sheets, which FAO prepares every year to show products and calories available in each country for human consumption. As a shortcut, you can click on this button here next to the name of the domain, and you will see the full list of domains. Here, we will click on Food Balances, and then choose the domain. This domain has the usual layout with the 4 boxes, but also has a special feature. If you click on Report, then choose a country and year, The data is output in the standard food balance sheet report format. Here we have supply, utilization and calories available. Here, in the selected indicators, we can get a profile of Faostat data for that country, and if we choose one, we can see some visualizations of statistical facts grouped by Faostat domain. You can download the data directly from here or export the charts. A tool that is available in the website is Compare Data, where we can look at data from different domains and view it together. For example, we want to see if there is any possible link between nitrogen fertilizer use and cereal yields, which come from separate datasets. We add them here and select the variables to compare. So first we can select a time range by scrolling or leave as default 1961. Then we choose under Groups Land, Inputs and Sustainability. Domain is fertilizers by nutrient. For area, we will choose Total World. Element is agricultural use, and item is nutrient nitrogen. Now we have to choose the second dataset, so we click Add Filter. Here we put Group Production, Domain Crops and Livestock Products, Area is World Total, Element is Yield, and Item is Cereals Primary. Click on the Compare Data button, and we see the data as a time series chart and also in a table. Both chart and table can be downloaded or exported. From the chart, we can see that the data series follow a similar trend. Users are advised to only compare data when this is meaningful. For example, comparing disaggregations such as geographical areas, income groups, genders, or related variables such as production inputs and outcomes would be recommended. Now, another tool you may find interesting is ranking. This shows basically the top 10 or 20 countries and commodities. Currently, it is only available for production and trade data, but should hopefully soon be for all datasets. If you are interested in one country only, you can look at commodities by country and see the 10 products with the highest production. Here we are showing Afghanistan. On the left, highest by quantity, and on the right, highest by international dollar value. Below is the top 20 in table format. If you are interested in products across countries, you can look at countries by commodity. Here, we can choose a different commodity and see which countries are the top producers. You can also see rankings for imports and exports data. Under imports, we can look at commodities by regions and see, for example, which are the most imported commodities in South America. And we see maize, soybeans, and wheat. In major export partners, we can see who a specific country exports to. If we look at Argentina, we see that it mainly exports to China, followed by Brazil. It's also useful to note that if you are not sure where you can find information about a specific product, you can type directly into the search box at the top right. Here, we will type GDP, and we get a list of datasets where you can find information indicators on GDP. You can click on the hyperlinks to go straight to them. The search box is available on every page. The last section is the frequently asked questions. If you have a question about the website or the data, you can try looking here for the answer first. Otherwise, you can contact us directly either through email, phone, or even make suggestions to improve the website. We are always happy to hear from our users and make our website as useful as possible. Thank you for your time, and I hope this was helpful in giving an introduction to Faostat.